Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am sharing another family home, and it is of course been quite some time since I've shared a family home, and I thought this would be a really nice video to make. I've been away, as I'm sure most of you guys know by now. I did have my son in December, and so I took all of January off to spend time with him and of course get adjusted to being a new mom because he is my first child. And it's been kind of a struggle getting back into it, but I thought a family home would be just something nice to build. It took me several days to complete this because of course a lot of my time is taken up these days, but I hope you guys will like it. I really love the way it turned out. It's a very cozy home. It didn't turn out exactly how I had originally planned. I had planned for it to be more of like a generic house for any family to move into without really any sort of story, but it kind of developed as I was building it, and I thought more about the family that would live here, and I tried to make the decorations, I don't know, a bit more interesting. It's nothing crazy. It's still a pretty generic family home, and really any family could live here and you could easily switch up the decorations, but I did think a little bit more about it. And yeah, hopefully you guys will find that interesting. But either way, you can see the shape is starting to come together. At this point, I really wasn't sure if I was liking the shape of the house, and I honestly almost bulldozed it and started over, but I'm so happy I didn't. I'm so happy I continued like adding to the roof and kind of moving things around to make it just look more appealing in my opinion. And I think it actually turns out to be such a cute home. I like the floor plan, I like the exterior, and I like the backyard as well. The backyard does have a few activities. There's a swimming pool, there's a swing set, a couple of plant pots for doing some gardening. There's one of those, I'm still gonna call them bug hotels or bug houses. I'm not really sure what they're called. I should honestly read the description of more things in the game because sometimes I just end up making up my own names for them and I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be or if they have really any function. I know that one has a function, but I really know nothing about it other than that. But yeah, I tried to make this house feel like it was a bit like of an older house. I wanted it to feel old but updated, so hopefully that comes across. Like, it has new windows, but it has some older features. Like, I thought the spandrels were kind of like a nice Victorian feature, so I think this house has some like Victorian feels to it, which I think is pretty cool. And I think the interior has been updated a lot, but the house still has some like old furniture because that just like suits the family's taste. And yeah, I think it's pretty fun. So I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about it, especially since it's been so long since I've done a family home. I mean, I took the break, so of course it's been long because of that, but also at the end of my pregnancy, I was wanting to do more shorter videos, and obviously this is like a 30-minute video, so it took me a very long time to build this house. And yeah, so a lot of my last videos have just been apartments because they take me a lot less time to not only record, but also to edit and to do the voiceover, and everything is just a lot faster. So when I was very pregnant, I could hardly sit here in my chair. It was just so uncomfortable. And so it was so much easier for me to do short videos. And then also my first video coming back, I just wanted to do something to say hello and that I'm still alive and that I'm still making videos, and you know, kind of just check in with you guys. And that was 2 weeks ago, I think, by now. And that was also another apartment because they're quick. And I thought I should do something that was larger and, you know, that I took more time. And it was so much fun, but honestly, I still feel so rusty coming back to building. It's taking me so long to find things in the catalog. Like, I have no idea where anything is, especially in the debug menu and the live edit objects. I'm just like, I mean, I know where they are. It just takes me so much longer. Like, I was so fast before. It's crazy that only taking like, you know, 4 or 5 weeks off, like how much you not really forget, just get kind of rusty, because it just, I remember it just takes me longer to recall where things are, which is, I don't know, just kind of funny to me. I didn't really think that would happen, but either way, I was starting to work on the landscaping, and I remembered my old rule that I've been telling myself for so long, and I remind you guys in so many different videos, to figure out the floor plan before you finish the house, because I was thinking I might want to add a door over where the dining room ends up being. And I don't end up adding a door there, but I still think that would be kind of a nice feature, but it's totally not necessary because there's another back door with a back porch. And yeah, when I thought about doing that, I'm like, I should probably go back into the interior and work out the floor plan before I finish all of the landscaping in case I want to change anything. So yeah, I didn't end up changing anything, but it's still a nice like precaution. I said that really weird. Precaution. And it just makes it so much easier so you don't have to change the landscaping. If you change the house, yeah, it just makes more sense. I think you guys get it. But either way, the floor plan actually came together really easily. I wasn't really sure if it was going to, but surprisingly it did. And so I was very happy about that because I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to do floor plans for at least this large of a house that easily after taking such a long break, because floor plans were something that, I mean, they kind of took me a while to get used to when I first started building, and sometimes I really struggled with them, and sometimes I would do like 3 or 4 different floor plan options before I actually found something that I liked, and even then sometimes I wouldn't be quite satisfied. But this one I was very happy with, and I think it makes sense and I think it flows, especially with the archways that I created using the spandrels and the columns. It makes the house feel so open and like flowy, if that's a word I can use to describe it. It just feels nice and yeah, just nice and open, but still sectioned off. It's something I really like to do. If you guys have been watching my videos for probably any amount of time, you probably noticed that I use a lot of archways and less doors because I feel like doors make rooms feel closed off. So I usually tend to leave those for like the bedrooms and the bathrooms, and then use archways for like the rest of the house just to kind of open it up and make it feel just more open without being open, because I really don't like open concept floor plans that much, but I still like it to feel open. So having the archways makes the separate spaces, but it feels open. Anyways, I think you guys get what I'm saying. Here you did see me, or just a moment ago, change the exterior color. My original plan was to go for more of like a muted kind of like gray, white color scheme, which I don't know why. I don't really like that color scheme. I think it's kind of boring. And yeah, I don't know. It was just like my original idea. And so once I placed the kitchen cabinets and placed down the like richer like honey colored flooring, I thought that I should change the exterior, and I did this combination of brown siding with brick, and I love this brick. It's a base game brick, and it's one of my all-time favorites. And yeah, it's so pretty. I think it really makes this house, and so I'm very happy with that. And as always, I'm using a lot of Live Edit Objects plants because they're just better, I think, than the Build and Buy catalog plants. The textures are better, the colors are better. And so I went back to a lot of the old ones that I used in previous videos before I took my break, and I just love them so much. It just took me a little bit longer to find them because, like I said, I am so rusty. I honestly never anticipated this, so I think it's pretty funny. So if I mention it a few times, it's just because I was very surprised. But either way, here I'm just trying to find different decorations to put around. I thought about putting a bench right here, but for some reason I didn't quite like it. Looking back, it's kind of cute though, so maybe if you wanted to add one, I think it could probably look pretty, I don't know, pretty nice there. But either way, I just continue adding the same plants around the back of the house that I did in the front of the house, trying to limit myself to just like a handful of plants. I think that's the best approach or best strategy when it comes to landscaping in The Sims. At least for me, what I've found is having a smaller number of plant varieties makes the landscaping look more cohesive and less crazy. Maybe that's just me. I'm sure there's other people that can pull it off and have like 20 different types of plants, and it looks really beautiful because there's so many different builders and so many different styles, and I'm always so impressed with the things that people come up with. And I honestly haven't watched any Sims speed builds in a really long time, so I'm pretty excited to just like, I don't know, get caught back up and just binge watch a bunch of speed builds. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Because yeah, when I took my break, I took a break from everything. I just didn't even log in. I just completely took like a real break. And I think it was such a nice reset. Like I didn't check Twitter. I didn't log into my YouTube. I just completely took a break and spent time with my son. And he's 2 months old today. I can't believe it's already been 2 months. it feels like I was like just pregnant yesterday. So it's so crazy. Time really does fly by way too fast, and he's already changed so much, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. But either way, here you can see I added a swimming pool to the backyard. I have a couple of lounge chairs, the swing set, and like I said, there's a couple of plant pots that I add back here, as well as one of those little bug houses. They're so cute, and I thought it'd be nice just to have a couple of activities. If you don't want to add that one, you could easily add like the bee box, or I'm sure there's another activity that you could add that would be more interesting depending on what family you have living here, or depending on like their hobbies and that kind of stuff. Something I did want to add is a gate to the backyard, because I fenced in the entire backyard and I think that looks really nice, but for some reason it wouldn't connect to the house. It felt like I was adding a gate on a slope or something. I don't know why it was doing that, so that was a bit frustrating. Another thing I wanted to add was a diving board or diving platform. I'm not sure if you can even call those a diving board, because they're more of a platform. There's no board that actually bounces. I wish we had classic diving boards. That would be so much better than those. I really wish we had like more things like that were just more realistic, because yeah, they're similar to things that you have in real life, but they're not the same. I would like that. But either way, there just really wasn't the space for it. But here you can see I'm decorating the front porch. I love the way the front porch turned out. I have a little seating area, some plants, there's a nice little table, and I used a ton of stuff from the new paranormal stuff pack, like a lot of stuff from that pack, because I really like it. I think the decorations are really pretty. The only thing is the colors of a lot of the objects. I like the colors, but I wish there was more just, I don't know, neutral tones, like more browns and creams. There's some like whites, and I'm not sure if there's any blacks, but I don't know. I don't use black a whole lot when it comes to furniture, so I'm not too bothered by that. But I don't know, I just felt like some of the colors were a bit too crazy. Like I really wanted to use the couch in the living room, but there was no just like really simple colors. Like there's yellow and there's purple, which are really fun, and I will use them in other builds, but they weren't going to suit this one, so I was kind of frustrated about that. But either way, it's not that big of a deal. There you did see I decorated the back porch with another outdoor dining area, and you could easily replace that if you felt like, I guess I could have used the blue couch. Just watching this back, the blue probably could have worked, but either way, I don't use it. But I was gonna say, you could easily replace the outdoor dining table with like a workbench or something else if you wanted a different activity outside. And looking back, I probably should have maybe done that, so there was a bit more things to do, but I thought it'd be nice to have another outdoor dining table, and I meant to add a barbecue in the backyard so you could actually cook some food and sit at the table and eat. Maybe I'll do that before uploading it to the gallery. But anyways, we are on to the interior, decorating the living room first. So I wanted this house to feel like old but updated, and so I wanted that to come across in the furniture too. And so I used a mixture between modern stuff, traditional stuff, some more Victorian looking things, and also a ton of stuff from the paranormal stuff pack. And the reason I came up with a storyline for the family is because of that stuff pack, because the more I started adding decorations, I thought about that stuff pack a little bit more, and I was thinking that it'd be fun to incorporate some of the gameplay into the storyline for this family. So I was thinking one of the parents, and now I was thinking especially the mom, and the reason why is just because I thought I could have like the females in this family have like these abilities and kind of like these powers, like these psychic powers. So I was thinking the mom is like a spirit medium, and she has people over to the house, and everybody in town thinks she's like really weird. Not everybody, obviously some people come and pay for her services, but a lot of people, especially like the teenage girl in this house, like her friends, like make fun of her mom and think she's just kind of like this like weird lady, and they like call her a witch and stuff. And the daughter is just like super embarrassed, and she's honestly been teased about it most of her life, like through her childhood, because her mom just, she's very eccentric, and she really kind of puts on a show. Like she dresses in a certain way, and her behavior is just kind of all around well, her psychic abilities, because it's, you know, these are her real abilities, but a lot of people just don't really believe it. They just think she's just kind of like this kooky lady. And so the daughter's super embarrassed, but what she doesn't realize is that she possesses the same abilities that her mom does. She just hasn't really like developed them fully, or maybe she's just too young to realize them, or maybe they just take until like you're a certain age to come in, which I thought could be kind of fun. So maybe she's like 15 right now, but she's about to turn 16. And I feel like 16 is kind of like that golden age. I think that's the same thing in like some like movies and stuff, that you have to be like 16 to like get your powers. Am I just making that up? But I think it's a thing. So I was thinking that on her like 16th birthday, her mom maybe reveals to her that she has the same powers, or maybe she reveals, but maybe she discovers them on her own, and she's like maybe she gets really like scared at the beginning and tries to ignore them, and she doesn't think they're really happening, or maybe she thinks it's like all in her head, and it's like she doesn't really have any ability to talk to any spirits or any sort of powers, or anything like that. She just tries to ignore it, and eventually she has to give in, and she talks to her mom. And I thought that could be kind of a cool story. Let me know if you guys like that, but I really just kind of liked the kind of struggle between the mother and daughter, but then they end up realizing that they're actually really alike. And so for now, I more tried to show that in like the decorations. So the daughter's room is a lot like, it's softer, it has more pinks and purples than the rest of the house. The rest of the house is more like brown and blue, so it's decorated the way I think the mother would like to decorate her house. It has some more interesting decorations, whereas the daughter's room has, it's just more like a softer, feminine decorating style. And I just thought that'd be kind of like a nice contrast between the rest of the house. And I also wanted the daughter to feel more like childish, like she really hasn't grown up. And I think that's because she just doesn't really know her true self yet. Like she's still trying to be somebody else. And so I think that's kind of a nice way to show that in the decorations. Maybe I'm overthinking it, I'm not exactly sure, but I was really having fun with the storyline. So hopefully you guys like it too, because I thought it was really fun, and I thought it could be kind of a fun way to include some like drama or more like story to like the family and stuff. And as for like the other family members, because there is another bedroom for a child, I didn't think too much about them. They could be a boy or a girl, but I did decorate their room with a lot of science stuff, mostly because I wanted to use that science table that came with the Snowy Escape expansion pack, because even though I built quite a few things using that pack, I hadn't really built anything that suited that table, or at least was in the same style, because the table is quite modern. But either way, I got to use it here, and I was so excited because I love that item. We've been needing a new science table for so long, because the other one, the base game one, is a very specific style. It kind of looks a little bit weird to me. I think it suits certain builds definitely, but it only comes in one swatch, so it's so limiting. And this one is so much more versatile, and it comes lots of different swatches, so I just had to use it. And just kind of it took on the theme for the room because of that. So there's lots of science posters and different decorations, so that kid is totally all about science. And I think there's a couple of different ways you could probably incorporate the child into the story with the mother and the teenage daughter. You could have the child be a boy, and this is if you want the abilities to only be like a female thing. Of course, that's totally not necessary. It was just kind of something I thought would be fun to make the story just a bit more different, maybe more interesting, because you could cause some conflict if the child is a boy, because maybe they've always wanted to have the abilities that their mom has, and then maybe they really believe their mom and the sister doesn't, so they kind of always have this battle. And then once the sister realizes that she has the abilities, then the boy child maybe becomes really resentful, and maybe they have like this whole lifelong battle because of it, or maybe they end up working together or something like that. I don't know. I think there's a lot of different possibilities. And then as for the mother's spouse, whether she has a wife or a husband, I don't know. I didn't really think that far. So that's totally up to you guys if you decide to play with a family like this, or if you decide to go along with this story. But I think it could be kind of fun. But anyways, here I'm continuing with the decorating. I'm decorating the kitchen. I went through and decorated the laundry room, the downstairs bathroom, the living room, the dining room. I really like the dining room a lot, mostly because of the chairs that I use. They came with the Paranormal Stuff Pack, and I think they're just so pretty. Like, I want those chairs in real life. I love the wicker and kind of like the ornate style of like the frame of the chair. So yeah, I just thought they kind of made that room. Hopefully you guys agree, because I think it looks really pretty. And I was happy to be able to fit in a laundry room, because I was kind of unsure how I was going to do that, but thankfully I was able to fit that room in really easily. And then as for the kitchen, I just tried to make it feel cluttered, but not too overly decorated, because of course I wanted it to be functional. And I'm very rusty after coming back, finding different decorations in the debug menu. So I didn't really want to spend too much time like hunting for different items for clutter. And it really isn't that big of a kitchen anyway. So I'll definitely be adding more like debug clutter in other kitchens to come in the future. But here, moving on to the upstairs, I just go ahead and decorate the shared bathroom between the child and the teenage daughter's room right away, and just copied over items from the downstairs bathroom. And I actually ended up switching up that shower that I have in the downstairs bathroom. I was trying to create like my own shower with that window and the wall-mounted shower head, and I just ended up not really liking it. So the shower that I ended up placing in this ensuite bathroom to the parents' room, I ended up placing down there, because I tried to do the same shower thing up here. Just, I don't know, really wasn't working for me. So yeah, that's why I decided to do that. And yeah, I'm really happy with the way the bedrooms turned out. The parents' bedroom took me so long. You will see me mess around with like the wallpaper colors and just like the color scheme of the room in general, but I think it ends up working out really nicely. So I'm very happy about that. And then, like I said, the teenager's room is very pink and soft, but it's a really big room, so there's a lot of different activities in there. So I was very happy with it. But either way, here I am decorating the parents' room. I'm going to say the mom's room, because I kind of feel like she's a single mom, but again, totally not necessary. And yeah, I feel like you could go any way with that. But anyways, so in here I do have like the typical bedroom stuff, like a bed, a side table, a dresser, a mirror, those types of things. I do include a bookcase from Realm of Magic, because I thought the decorations on the shelves were perfect for the mom style and kind of like the theme that I was going for. And then I also include this table from the Paranormal Stuff Pack, because I wanted the mom to have like clients come over so she could maybe talk to spirits, or tell their fortune. I'm not really sure if that's a possibility, but it looks kind of like a crystal ball, so I'm not really sure about the gameplay exactly, but that's what I wanted the mom to be able to do. If I would have had an extra room in this house, I would have made like a special room specifically for that. Maybe I could have tried to squeeze in like a staircase down to a basement, and then they could have done it down there. But I didn't want it to feel like dark and gloomy, so I went with the bedroom. So maybe it's not like the best place for this, but maybe she's working on opening up her own like studio or something, so she could have clients go to an actual like place, so she could have like an actual business. That's definitely a possibility, and could add some more like gameplay and stuff too if you wanted to develop their story further or something like that. So yeah, lots of things to consider, but either way, I still thought it looked really good in here, so I was happy with that. And then other than that, I just added some artwork from Realm of Magic, because I think that stuff just suits, like I said, her style perfectly. And I thought it looked nice in there. And I like how the room is kind of like light and airy. So it actually ends up being kind of light and airy like the daughter's room, because I used more like whites and stuff in there and less dark browns than I do in the rest of the house. But there's still some dark browns. But either way, I thought the room was pretty, but this is going to be the daughter's room. So like I said, I wanted it to feel a bit naive, so there's some more like childish posters in here and things that just feel more, I mean, she's young, like I imagined her to be like 15, so she doesn't need to be super mature yet, but I did want it to feel a little bit kiddish, so I put a stuffed animal by the bed, and also I used a fairy poster that's like a child poster. I ended up putting it over by her desk, And I just thought little things like that just kind of made it feel like she hasn't developed her real personality yet. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you guys, but I thought it was kind of a nice way of showing that. Not sure if it is. So, but yeah, you know, she just hasn't came into her own yet. She really doesn't know her real potential or who she really is yet, which I think is, of course, true for any teenager. They're still learning a lot about themselves, and they have a lot to learn as they become an adult. So yeah, I think that kind of makes sense. But either way, in here I included a desk. So I thought this would be a nice spot to do like homework and stuff, but I do clutter it up quite a bit with different things. So I'm not really sure if you can actually sit here and do homework or write in a journal or whatever you may want to do. There is a laptop downstairs. You probably saw that I put a desk in that little nook behind the living room. So I wasn't really too worried about putting like another computer up here, and maybe she has like a laptop or something. I'm not really sure, but I just wanted it to be a nice little area for her to do some like crafting or whatever she likes to do. I also put that geode there, and I thought it was kind of like a way to foreshadow her future. Not that geodes specifically are mystical in any way or have any like powers themselves, but of course you could do like crystal healing or something like that, or maybe she has some sort of like inclination to crystal healing and that's why she's kind of attracted to them. So yeah, I put one on her desk because I thought it was something that she thought was pretty and that she'd like to have around, and I think it kind of foreshadows her future. Let me know if you guys agree. But either way, here I'm working on the child's room. And this room, I just wanted it to feel very kid-like, so it's a bit messy. And again, I went with the science theme using the science table and the science posters and different decorations that I thought suited this. And I put a dresser over here with a ton of decorations on top of it, like the solar system student project, as well as like a robot. I think I used 2 robots in this room, and yeah, just different decorations that I think suit the style and the theme. It's very heavily themed, which I think is so fun. It's my favorite way to decorate kids' rooms because you can just kind of go all out with the decorations, and they're just my favorite rooms to decorate because they're so fun and cluttered and colorful and super cute. But either way, we're coming up on the end of the video, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this family home. Like I said, it's been a while and I'm a bit rusty, so hopefully this voiceover wasn't too bad. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. But yeah, anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!
I used to fall apart, lose myself, then give my heart away. Come and go in shady places. I used to sit and stare. Now the light runs through my lashes. It's taken 40 years, blood, sweat and tears. You are the love. I can't show you how to start to find your way. I like the old-fashioned way. Give me that sweet love, those warm up and kisses. Oh, life has a quirky way. Circle breaks, we find a new day. And strangers we know become husbands. Every dance has its pace, interlace, intertwined now. You can't save time. Run along, kids. You two will be more than parents one day. You are the find your way. I like the old fashioned way.